This recipe would be really good just to eat the chicken plain with some vegetables, which is probably what I'm going to do, or it'd be fantastic as chicken sandwiches. You could easily melt some cheese over the top when it's in the oven, and it would be really awesome that way. This is what it looks like cooking. I flipped one over so you can see that it's got some nice color to it. The oil's bubbling, but it's not spattering everywhere, so it's not making a huge mess. If you find that the oil is doing that, you should just turn it down slightly so that it's not so out of control. Take the rest of the chicken off. These two pieces are a little bigger. I'm going to wait just a little bit longer. And then you should cook the chicken in the oven for probably between 5 to 10 minutes until you feel it's sufficiently cooked inside. If you're using regular full thickness chicken breasts, you're definitely going to want to use a longer cooking temperature in the oven, but I have it at 400, so it's pretty high. So you're going to want to probably do like 20 minutes then if it's a full-size chicken breast. So like I said, I'm going to eat this with some simple vegetables that have just maybe salt and pepper, no butter or anything, because we are eating fried chicken or breaded chicken that's cooked in oil, so I want to keep the oil to a minimum, keep the meal a little bit lighter and healthier. So this is what it looks like on my pan. I'm running out of space, sort of, but that's okay. We'll work with what we've got. Now make sure to turn your oven or your stove burner off so that you don't burn down the house. We're going to put this in the oven for between 5 and 10 minutes. I'm going to set a timer because I'm notorious for leaving things and burning them. I think what I'm going to do for my side dishes is some carrots and probably a light salad with some vegetables to keep the meal a little bit healthier. So I'm going to make a salad. I have some nice sort of organic lettuce, and I'm not such a fan of cleaning the lettuce and drying it myself, so I like to use a salad spinner so that I cut up the pieces, rinse them off, and then spin it so that the salad is nice and dry. So I'm just going to cut them into sort of little slices. You could easily also cut up the chicken and put it in the salad and make a really nice chicken salad. Alright, so I've got all the lettuce. Putting it in my salad spinner. I'm going to rinse it in some water and spin it to get all the extra water off. So you put the lid on, push it a couple of times. I'm also going to cut up a little bit of cucumber that I have to put in the salad. I'm just going to make nice thin slices. And then I'm going to take a couple of carrots. I've got my little peeler here. I'm going to peel. Alright, so that's the timer. It's been 5 minutes. I'm going to check on the chicken. I think we're looking pretty good, but I'm going to let it go another 5 minutes. Now I'm going to cut these carrots because I'm going to boil some of them sort of as a side dish to go with the chicken so that we have some more vegetables. I'm just cutting the carrots in half and then into quarters so they're nice sort of long little sticks. And I have another pan here that I'm going to put them in. I'm cooking this meal for 2 people, and there's most definitely more than enough chicken for 2 people, but I think we'll probably have the extra pieces for lunch tomorrow. So I often like to cook a little bit more so that I can get another meal out of it. And I find that it's really hard to cook for yourself or 2 people and not have to have a ton of extra food. So it's really good to think about menus that you could put together where the food's going to actually taste good the next day. So I have about that much carrots. It's about 3 carrots. I'm going to cover them with water. And then I'm going to put them on the burner to start cooking them. On high, so you want to get them to a boil, and then I turn it down so that they don't sort of overcook. Alright, so now I'm going to take a nice pretty bowl. I'm going to take my lettuce and I'm going to put it in the bowl. I'm going to take my cucumbers, put it on the top. And one way to make your salads really pretty is to try to pick different colored vegetables to put in there. So I'm just going to cut the carrots so that they're nice little slices. Okay, so you can see that I cut them nice little sort of round slices. I'm going to scatter those over the top of the salad. And I also think I'm going to put some mushrooms in it since I have them. So these are some nice sort of whole white mushrooms. I'm going to cut the bottom of the stem off because I find that sometimes that's a little rough. And then I'm just going to cut them into little slices. Just kind of like this. Scatter those over the top as well. Alright. So our chicken is probably done. I'm going to take it out of the oven. Using a hot pad, always to remember that everything in here is pretty hot. So I think that looks pretty good. The chicken should be done because these are really thin pieces. So this is kind of what it looks like. Really thin breaded chicken. And if you're ever not really sure whether the chicken's done, an easy way to check is to take one of the pieces and cut it in half. So it looks completely done to me. It's all white all the way through. What you see if it's not is this like a kind of pinky color to it. I'm going to let this cool and I'm going to turn the oven off. Carrots are starting to get a little bit of a boil. You can see the steam probably in the corner over here. I'm going to keep slicing a few more mushrooms. Alright, the boil's getting a little crazy, so I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to test my carrots with a fork to make sure that they're sort of fork tender. So my fork goes through and it kind of releases itself. I know that they're done. I don't want them to be sort of a mash of carrots, so I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to drain it. I want to keep it simple, so I'm just going to maybe put a little bit of salt and pepper, keep it light, and that's going to be the meal. So this is what the salad looks like finished. Really nice, light salad with a homemade dressing. It doesn't need to be super fancy. Alright, so I'm going to plate the meal, and then I will show you what it looks like finished. Alright, so this is what the finished meal looks like. My salad, my chicken, and my carrots. So I don't think this meal took more than 30 minutes to put together from start to finish. I haven't stopped taping as I've gone through this, but I'm definitely going to have to edit it in order to make it work for YouTube video. But from start to finish, I was able to make breaded chicken, carrots, and a nice salad with a homemade dressing. So I hope you enjoy, and that was my first simple cooking recipe.